Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Wonderful Garbage. Hope everyone's having a good day. I am so excited to be recording this. I didn't know if I was going to be recording it this week or not. I've been sick the past couple days with like a little cold. And I've literally just been sleeping the past 48 hours. So I mustered up the energy to come talk some shit with you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Also with being sick, and maybe this what got me sick, but my sleep schedule has been real messed up the past couple of weeks. Like, I don't know if there's like a planet in retrograde that's fucking with my sleep, or if this is some sort of like adult sleep regression, but my sleep has been weird. And then I got sick, so maybe it's like all rolled into one. I don't know. I guess there's something going around, like a cold, but I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to not be coughing every other word, basically. I've been chugging this elderberry cherry bark cough syrup that like burns my throat, but it takes care of my cough in like a couple days. It's so amazing. Also, maybe I'm just getting older and my sleep's just fucked up. I don't know. I'm wearing my Cowboys sweatshirt. Just like, they won last week, so that's good. I've been doing fantasy football. Also, right, it's like we just had the first full week of fantasy football, but I've lost in all 3 of my leagues, and I hate it. So really hoping, like, I already have people that are doubtful, that are injured. I did not draft Christian McCaffrey, so all you suckers. He's on IR, I think, until October, mid-October or something. I mean, but I'm sure he can come back and be like a superhuman running back and still score like a bajillion points. But I'm hoping I play everyone who has him the next like 3 or 4 weeks. So then I can win. I don't know. Like, I love fantasy football, but then I'm always like, damn. Losing all 3 of your leagues just really sucks, because like hopefully you could win like at least one. I was projected to win, and I was doing good until like mid-Sunday's games, and then all my guys just shit the bed, so that's a lot of fun. Okay, I watched Tell Me Lies episode 3. First of all, Hulu's home screen is really annoying. Like, when you log in, I want to be able to see what I like continue to watching. I want that to be first versus movies and TV that they are suggesting for me. Like, you can do that under it, but the first thing I want to see is what I just was freaking watching, so it's easier for me to scroll. I'm just being lazy, but that's my complaint. The home screen bugs me. Anyways, I don't know if y'all watched it, if y'all are Tell Me Lies people. Steven is like continues to be a monster of a person. He's inserting himself into Lucy's life wherever he can. He's now a TA in one of her classes and was like, oh, I had no idea that you were in this class, when he literally saw her walking into the class after he was about to leave. So he's just so freaking manipulative. I'm loving Bree's sexual awakening with her professor. I get that he's cheating on his wife, so that's not great. But we're not watching the show for a moral compass, so I like the fuck upness of it all. I'm loving Pippa, Diana. Sorry if that was a spoiler alert. My bad. Just did not see that coming. Like, did not have that on my season 2 Tell Me Lies bingo card whatsoever. And so I love that. I love seeing the evolution of them. And then, like, Lucy's going for just another unhealthy relationship with that guy who has anger issues. So who knows? Also, okay, I saw this video on Instagram, and I just posted it to my TikTok, that Grace Van Patten, who plays Lucy, did an interview with The View, and she was saying that she pulled inspiration from Vanderpump Rules, specifically Jax and Stassi's relationship, like back in the first couple of seasons, as her inspiration for her toxicity between herself and Steven in the show, which I freaking love. All roads lead back to Bravo. But wait, there's more. Grace Van Patten's cousin, one of her cousins, is Vince Van Patten, who is married to Eileen Davidson, who was on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So there really is just Bravo connections all over the place. And I love it. Go watch Tell Me Lies if you haven't. It's so good. The Emmys are this weekend. I'm excited. I love the Emmys. I love award shows. And I get that historically people think they're like rigged and have been historically racist. I get that. It sucks. I love seeing people get excited for something that they've worked really hard for, and they seem to like have always looked forward to winning an award. And so for that happiness and success, I like watching that. I also love all the red carpet stuff. Like I will watch red carpet show and then I'll watch the Emmys, and then I typically have to go to bed because I'm a sleepy girl, and then I watch all the after show stuff the next day. So that's probably what I'm gonna do today. Eugene and Den Levy are hosting the Emmys, which is really, really cute. I'm manifesting some sort of Schitt's Creek cameos, I don't know if they'll go back to American Pie, but like they should definitely do some little like Schitt's Creek stuff. I think that'd be really cute. Okay, so the Creative Emmys were last weekend, and then this is a primetime Emmys. So I was like, what is the difference? Because I've always wondered. So I looked it up, and this is what Wikipedia says. The Creative Emmys are awarded to behind-the-scenes personnel such as production designers, set decorators, video editors, costume designers, cinematographers, sound editors. They also include awards for outstanding animated programs, commercials, guest actors, also daytime TV. And then the Primetime Emmys are focused on primetime television. Here are the rules for Primetime Emmys, like who can get nominated. The show must air on American television during the eligibility period of June 1st and May 31st, which is just essentially like a year, right? Because literally the next day after May 31st is June 1st. It says, in order to be considered a national primetime show, the program must air between 6 p.m. and 2 a.m. to at least 50% of the country. And then it added streaming shows to that a while back, since streaming shows are now taking over the world, and those must be available to at least 50% of the country too. So now you know. The more you know, insert rainbow. Okay, Vanderpump Rules was nominated for its second Creative Arts Emmy in a row. They were nominated for Outstanding Unstructured Reality Program. They didn't win. Welcome to Wrexham won. But here were the other shows that were nominated. So Below Deck Down Under was nominated. I didn't know that. So we had 2 Bravo shows nominated for a Creative Emmy. That's so cool. And then Love on the Spectrum US, which is a fantastic show if you haven't seen it. And then RuPaul's Drag Race Untucked. You probably saw videos or pictures of our Vanderpumpies at the Creative Arts Emmys last week. Katie and Ariana presented an award they presented 2 for editing in an unstructured reality program and editing in a structured reality program. But Sheena and Brock and the Toms were there. I think James and Allie were there. So like the whole crew is there. Jamie Lee Curtis won for Guest Actress in a Comedy for her performance as Donna in Berzatto on the Bears Christmas episode Fishes. So The Bear on FX. Outstanding show, crazy, dark comedy, drama. Jamie Lee Curtis plays their mom, and that Fishes episode was, I think it's one of the most watched episodes from a series because it resonated with so many people. The Bear also won for Outstanding Casting. Shogun won for Outstanding Casting in a Drama. The Bear won for Outstanding Casting in a Comedy. Baby Reindeer, which was on Netflix. Oh, watch that one too. Add it to your list. It does get pretty intense around in episode 4. It's really, it can be really triggering and traumatic to watch, knowing that the main character who wrote this show, that all this actually happened to him, just makes it really, really more intense. But Baby Reindeer won for Outstanding Casting for a Limited Series. And then John Berthnall won for Outstanding Guest Actor in The Bear, playing the brother Michael in that same Fishes episode. So Jamie Lee Curtis and John Berthnall won for their performance in that same episode, Fishes. It was wild. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the Primetime Emmys now. Most nominations are from Netflix. They have 107 nominations total. Like, who would have thought the company that made it big on mailing DVDs out for rent would now be the top platform, I guess you could say, top company for Emmy nominations. Also, did you know that Netflix just stopped delivering DVDs last September? Because I was like reading, I was like, okay, Netflix, and I was like, when was the last time they shipped DVDs? It had to have been like 10 years ago, right? Like, who would still be ordering DVDs? But no, literally last September, they stopped shipping DVDs. They did a final surprise promo for customers who opted into it, and they would just get sent 10 extra DVD envelopes of whatever, like a surprise grouping of shows. Customers wouldn't be charged for the unreturned DVDs. They were just like, fuck it, you guys can keep them. Like, we don't want to store these anymore, just take them. So I got this info from a Variety article. They shipped more than 5 billion DVDs in the last 25 years, which is crazy. I remember getting Netflix as a kid. I remember how fun it was. Like, my dad loved to rent movies that way. So it was the red packaging. I think first they said they started out with yellow packaging, then it turned to white, and then the final one that they did for like most of the time was the red packaging, and you would like open it up and you tear off a side and like you get your DVD in and put it back in a little envelope, seal it back up, ship it back out. So the article said that the first DVD that they sent out was 1988's Beetlejuice, and then the last DVD that was sent out was the 2010's True Grit movie. So I thought that was pretty cool. Okay, anyways, I went on a little tangent about Netflix, but I just couldn't believe that they literally just stopped delivering DVDs last year. It like blew my mind. Okay, so Emmys, the most nominations. So FX's Shogun, who won for Outstanding Casting at the Creative Emmys, they have the most nominations, 25 Emmys. I haven't watched this show, but obviously it's like great. They got a bunch of nominations. Going to watch it, gonna add it to my list. And then The Bear, which is another FX show. They are the second most nominated show with 23 nominations this year. Baby Reindeer, True Detective, the Night Country series, and Fargo are nominated in multiple categories. Abbott Elementary, which makes my teacher heart happy, is nominated, along with The Morning Show, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Show was so good. Only Murders in the Building and Palm Royale are all nominated in multiple categories as well. There's just a lot nominated. It's so fun. I love it. Watch the Emmys, even if you don't like the bullshit. Well, if you don't like the bullshit, like, don't watch it. But if you don't have anything to do tonight, if you don't want to watch football, or if you have like multiple TVs, put Emmys on one, football on the other. Okay, since I was kind of already getting into pop culture stuff with the Emmys, let's just continue on with our pop culture recap. Alright, we're going to start this week's pop culture recap with a couple of icons on a couple of magazine issues coming up in October. We're going to start with Beyonce. Beyonce is on the GQ cover for their October issue. They did a fantastic article on her, and it's titled The Business of Being Beyonce Knowles Carter. She looks freaking amazing. There's this one picture that, like, I need to get framed ASAP. She's in this, like, silhouette, like, fitted dress. There's saloon doors, and she's smoking a cigar, and she has an updo. Like, oh, it's, like, a beautiful picture. I love it so much. Highlights of the article for me. She's just saying that being in the music industry for 30 years, or in the entertainment industry for 30 years, she is continuing to staying true to herself and everything she does. The industry has changed a lot. Back in the 90s, early 2000s, there wasn't a lot of boundaries. She said yes to everything that she did, really worked her butt off. Like, probably did a lot more than she should, but that catapulted her to where she is now. So now she's able to set boundaries, say yes to only the things that she wants to do, and then be creative in every aspect of those projects that she's doing. She is just focusing on things that bring her joy, which, hell yeah. She talks about sampling a black composer from the 1700s, Joseph Bellone, also who went by Chevalier Saint George de Saint George. There was a movie done about him a couple years ago, and she was just saying it inspires artists as well as fans to dig deeper and learn more about black musical innovators who came before us. Some of the most talented artists never achieve the mainstream praise they deserve, especially when they defy the norm. She said she's really been leaning into learning more about her family history and honoring those who didn't have the opportunities that she has now. She's coming out with a new whiskey line called Sir Davis, and in the process of doing this, she says she's been working on it for like 5 or 6 years. She learned that her great-grandpa was a moonshine whiskey maker. And so she was like, I always had this connection and I didn't know why. I didn't know why I was passionate about creating something. And then turns out that was in her lineage and her history. And so it's just more of a reason to honor her family legacy and learn more about her history. So it's a really great article. Again, it's Beyonce in GQ, and the photos alone are just amazing. We have another musical girly on Vanity Fair's October issue. That is Selena Gomez. Title of this article is Selena Gomez on her best role yet and romance with Benny Blanco. I've never been loved this way. She talks about being Emmy nominated for a lead actress for a comedy in Only Murders in the Building. This is her first nomination, despite being in the business since she was, 7 on Barney. She also is now the most nominated Latina producer ever in a Best Comedy category, with the latest Emmy nominations for Only Murders in the Building. So lots to celebrate for her. She says, when I heard that, I felt like I made my dad's side of the family proud. It was really cool to have that be a part of my story. I'm grateful for breaking barriers. Hopefully this is not a one-time thing. She talks about her upcoming movie musical, Emilia Perez, which is about a Mexican cartel leader who kidnaps a lawyer, who's played by Zoe Saldana, to help him transition to a woman to leave his cartel life. And Selena Gomez plays the wife of the cartel leader. Sounds crazy. She says, though it's a musical, she wants fans to know she doesn't have plans to release any new music of her own at the moment. She says, I don't know if I'm ready. It's a vulnerable space. Acting has always been my first love. Music was just a hobby that blew up and went out of control. She says, it is now a part of who I am, so I don't think I'm going anywhere. I'm just not ready to create music again. She talks about her relationship with Taylor Swift. She says they talk about the industry from time to time. Gomez seeks advice on music or how to navigate new friendships at their levels of fame. She says more often than not, we're just gossiping about things that all friends gossip about and comparing notes on the latest season of Vanderpump Rules. She said she's watching The Valley now. She says, I've watched every episode of Vanderpump Rules, so I don't care if The Valley is bad. She's still going to watch it. Again, all roads lead back to Bravo. She talks about her relationship with her boyfriend, Benny. They worked together on 2 of her songs back in 2015 and 2019. And she says, I've never been loved this way. He's been a complete light in my life. He's my best friend. I love to tell him everything. We love love. I love it so much. She talks about being a godmother to her cousin's kids, and then in the talks of talking about being in that godmother role, she says it reminds her of something that's been weighing on her. She hasn't ever put this out, but unfortunately I can't carry my own children. I have a lot of medical issues that would put my life and the baby's life in jeopardy, and that was something that she really had to grieve for a while. So, you know, like, we like to hear things from celebrities, and we want to know their news, and we want to know their lives, right? And we dissect it, and we talk shit, and whatever. But again, like, at the end of the day, they don't owe us shit, really. Like, they don't owe us to put everything out there like she's putting out there. So I know that was a lot for her to put out, but it's going to help, I think, other women or other people who are struggling in starting a family as well. She says it's not how she envisioned having kids, but she loves that there are people out there who are willing to be surrogates. She said adoption's always an option. She's excited for what that journey is going to look like. It'll be a little different, but at the end of the day, I don't care. It'll be mine. It'll be my baby. She said her family isn't pressuring her into marriage, nor is she pressuring her boyfriend at all. She said, we always want to make sure we're protecting what we have. There are no rules. I want him to always be himself. I always want him to be myself. Benny Blanco did an interview with Howard Stern a while back, and Howard Stern was asking about, like, marriage, and Benny was like, yeah, like, I want to marry this girl. Like, I want to propose to her. So it sounds like that's her boo. She found her man. She ends another thing from the article, she talks about being diagnosed with lupus, which made her cancel the rest of her tour that she was on a while back because she had to get treatment. She got chemo. She got a kidney transplant from one of her friends, and talks more about, like, her mental health struggles, the documentary that she did back in 2020. She talks about working on Only Murders in the Building now, and the success that it's had, and this kind of like cult following that it has now, and working with 2 iconic comedians in Steve Martin and Martin Short, and they chime in a little bit too of, like, working with someone who is so famous in a new era, in a new way, with a whole new fan base that they don't have. So I think they were like, we thought she was going to be like this pop diva princess. And they're like, no, she came in like really chill, really calm. They said the first season she wasn't super like ragging on them, like how Steve and Martin just riff off each other and, you know, do whatever. But they said Selena's gotten a lot more comfortable, so now they're seeing that side to her too. So it was a good article. Again, that one was in Vanity Fair if you want to check it out. All right, we're continuing on the music girly train. We're going to talk about Britney Spears for a second. There was some things that came out that were like, Britney Spears is going to be done paying child support to Kevin Federline today or tomorrow because her youngest son, Jaden, was turning 18. All right, and an article from People, it says, Britney Spears is likely still set to pay child support to her ex-husband, Kevin Federline, despite her younger son having turned 18 this week. The womanizer singer will continue to pay child support to Federline, with whom she shares sons Jaden, 18, and Sean, who turns 19 next month, even though they are both now legally adults. So according to Federline's attorney, under California law, parent must continue paying child support until their child has graduated from high school, even if they turn 18. Jaden graduates high school in November, so just a couple more months of paying child support to Kevin Federline. But Britney did say, obviously, she's like happy to continue to support them and do whatever she needs to do to make sure that her sons have a good life. So she's almost done paying to Kevin Federline, but maybe she'll just leave him out of the picture and then just give the money to her sons. Who knows? Alrighty, we got some Super Bowl halftime news. Kendrick Lamar was chosen to perform at this year's Super Bowl halftime show. So in an article from the Associated Press that came out a couple days ago, Kendrick Lamar will pop out on the NFL's biggest stage next year. The Grammy winner will headline the Apple Music Super Bowl halftime show in New Orleans. The NFL, Apple Music, and Rock Nation announced Sunday that Lamar would lead the halftime festivities from the Caesars Superdome on February 9th. The rap megastar, who has won 17 Grammys, said he's looking forward to bringing hip-hop to... I said hip-hop. Hip-hop. He's looking forward to bringing hip-hop to the NFL's championship game, where he performed as a guest artist with Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Mary J. Blige, 50 Cent, and Eminem in 2022. Rap music is still the most impactful genre to date, Lamar said in a statement, and I will be there to remind the world why they got the right one. I don't know if you've seen, but you've probably seen Lil Wayne and Nicki Minaj have come out and said that Lil Wayne was like, I'm bummed that it's not me, because he's from New Orleans and he would have liked the opportunity to perform. There's a bunch of stuff about it. I don't know. I like Kendrick. I'm good with it. It'll be fun. Billboard.com also did an article about the songs that they want Kendrick to perform. So I'll post that so you guys can see it too. I thought it was pretty good. Okay, the voice of a generation died earlier this week. James Earl Jones died. He passed away on September 9th. He was 93 years old. He is known for his role as Darth Vader in Star Wars. And I'm going to have an honesty moment with you guys here because this is a safe space, right? I've never seen a full Star Wars movie. I've seen parts here and there. I've either fallen asleep or just, didn't watch it all. But I watched The Lion King a lot. He was also Mufasa in Lion King. It was also in Coming to America and Field of Dreams. So sending lots of love to his family, everyone who loved him. He lived a great life. He was in some iconic movies. Will have a legacy for a very, 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 very long time. All right, we have some baby news. I feel like we've had baby news the past couple weeks, but Cardi B has given birth to her third baby. Cardi posted to her Instagram earlier this week with pictures of their family at the hospital with their newest addition, captioning the post, "The prettiest little thing." The baby was born on September 7th, so we have another Virgo baby. Oh, welcome, Virgo baby. Cardi B announced her pregnancy at the beginning of August, right after announcing her divorce from Offset. Congratulations to the entire family, though, and just happiness and love all around. Everyone's having their own families, families in their own ways, right? So whatever works for them, as long as it is a supportive and loving environment for the baby, right? Oh, we have other crazy baby news. I'm sure this shocked a bunch of people who have been fans of him, whether in Nirvana or Foo Fighters, but turns out David Grohl is another shitty human being, is another shitty musician. What? This is crazy. Yeah, so in an article from USA Today, Dave Grohl, did I call him David? Dave Grohl. I don't know. I'm still like, I think my cold's coming back. Dave Grohl shocked fans with the surprise announcement Tuesday that he fathered a child outside of his 21-year marriage to Jordan Bloom. The Foo Fighters frontman is seeking forgiveness from his family after the birth of his youngest daughter. He says, "I've recently become the father of a new baby daughter born outside of my marriage." He's already a dad to 3 daughters, Violet, Harper, and Ophelia. He says, "I plan to be a loving and supportive parent to her. I love my wife and my children, and I'm doing everything I can to regain their trust and earn their forgiveness." He continues to say, "We are grateful for your consideration towards all the children involved as we move forward together." Yeah, that's pretty fucked up. So, again, just hoping the baby is born in a supportive and loving environment, but he like really fucked up there. I saw a post that was like, he should have started the post with like, "I've got another confession to make." I was like, oh man. Yeah, that was really surprising, and just wishing the best for everybody involved, because that's tough, especially for his oldest kids. Like, they're teenagers, so now having to go through that publicly, it's just rough. But yeah, men are trash. Men are trash. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. Some men are trash. Alrighty, let's go to another trash artist who really broke my heart with all this bullshit. Justin Timberlake, his dumb plea deal. If you've listened before, I'm an NSYNC fan. They were my first concert. I've loved Justin Timberlake, but like, now looking back right on all the shit with Britney, how he handled the situation, now how he's been handling his DUI or DWI case, it's just a little disheartening. So, okay, in an article from NBC News, it says Justin Timberlake entered a guilty plea Friday morning in connection to his DWI case. Timberlake arrived at the Sag Harbor Village Justice Courthouse on Long Island, New York, alongside his attorney. As part of the deal reached with the court, Timberlake pleaded guilty to a non-criminal traffic violation of driving while impaired. The judge who suspended Timberlake's license in the hearing last month asked Timberlake, this is the part that drives me freaking crazy, asked Timberlake if he would be willing to volunteer at a nonprofit of his choosing. So now he's going to make it into some media spin of volunteering and giving back. Like, since when was somebody asked, like, "Oh, would you mind doing this as part of your punishment, please?" Like, if it works in your schedule. Like, what the heck? Justin Timberlake said, "I'd be willing to," agreeing to 25 to 40 hours of community service. He also agreed to pay a fine of $500. Give me a freaking break. After the hearing, Timberlake spoke out outside the courthouse and told reporters that he tries to hold himself to a very high standard. "This was not that. I found myself in a position where I could have made a different decision. Even if you had one drink, don't get behind the wheel of a car. There are so many alternatives. Call a friend, take an Uber. That was a mistake I made, but I'm hoping that whoever's watching and listening right now can learn from this mistake. I know that I certainly have." It's like, sir, we know. We Uber. We're good. You're rich as fuck. Do better. Don't lecture me about what I should do. Take care of yourself, sir. Also, the double pearl necklace, horrible choice. It does not make you seem softer whatsoever. Um, Timberlake said he only had one martini before he got behind the wheel and was following his friends home. I don't know. The officer who was arrested said that he said that his eyes were bloodshot and glassy and he had a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage on his breath. He was unable to really give his attention to the officer and had slowed speech. Yeah, martinis are strong. And like maybe if you didn't have anything else to eat that day and you just had a martini, yeah, maybe it would impair you like that. But I don't know. It's just like, I don't want to not want to be a Justin Timberlake fan because I grew up loving him. But like, he's kind of giving me the ick now. Like, I don't know. I'm conflicted. Anyways, just like, I just don't want him to turn this into yes. I'm like, I help people. I give back. It's like, well, yeah, you were like literally ordered to give back. Like, don't make it I don't know. I'm annoyed. Okay, the VMAs. I haven't watched the VMAs in years. I decided to watch it this past week. I'm old because I don't know half of those people. I was sitting there and I was like, oh no. Oh no, what's happening? Who are these people? What's going on? So Meg Thee Stallion hosted. I thought she did a good job. Her outfits were fantastic. She came out in this USA like leotard, jeweled leotard. It was like Olympics / Beyonce and Beyonce's USA jeweled fit that she did. Eminem opened, which I loved, but also he didn't need to also wear that blonde wig that all the other Slim Shadys were wearing. That was weird. It was good to see him. I would have loved some old Slim Shady music, but I get it. He is a new person. He's different. He's got a lot of other songs out. There were a lot of Britney Spears references in this VMAs, though. Meg Thee Stallion in one of the segments came out in the I'm a Slave for You from the 2001 VMAs that Britney did with the python on her. Sabrina Carpenter used the Oops, I Did It Again astronaut intro when she was coming out to do her performance. I heard it and I was like, what? Oh my goodness, where was Britney here? What's happening? What's going on? And then Tate McRae also honored Britney. She wore that laced see-through super mini dress that was also from the 2001 VMAs. So it's like the year of Britney. We love it. I wanted to see Sabrina and Chapel and then Meg Thee Stallion and Katy Perry's performances. So I just really watched for those. I thought they were all good. Britney Spears came out and was like, why was Sabrina Carpenter kissing an alien? Like, why didn't she just kiss a girl? I was like, I don't know. It's 2024. We're like, it's also aliens. I don't know. We like the aliens. But yeah, that was different. Chapel's performance was very like medieval, Joan of Arc. Katy Perry's, there were some songs I totally forgot about that I used to listen to. She won this year's VMA Video Vanguard Award, which is like their big award. So she performed Dark Horse and California Girls, Teenage Dream, and I Kissed a Girl. And then when she was doing her speech, she was like, I did all that on the first day of my period, y'all. And I was like, hell yeah. I am on my couch in pain, cannot move on my first day of my period. So yeah, I thought overall it was okay. Fat Joe was there. He performed with Anita. I love that man. What's Love? Oh, such a jam. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just old. I liked what I saw. And I thought that was cool. Oh, Sabrina's dress that she wore on the carpet, on the red carpet, like before it, So that was Madonna's dress that she wore to the 1991 Academy Awards with Michael Jackson. But then Fran Drescher also wore that dress on The Nanny back in 1994. So lots of connections. They all looked super gorgeous in those dresses. But yeah, that's my pop culture wrap up for the week. There was a lot going on. A lot of surprising news happening in the world of pop culture. Alrighty, y'all, let's get into our Bravo breakdown. All right, let's get into our Bravo breakdown for the week. I don't know if y'all saw this, if you follow Reza from Shahs of Sunset, but a couple days ago he posted a selfie of him on his Instagram story, and it said in the corner, "On the way to Shah's season 9 reunion." So season 9 aired, it was their last season, and aired in 2021. So is this like a hint that they're filming again? Did he mean to say season 10 reunion? Is this like an Easter egg for something? There's no other news about it. I know it's been talked about for years about them coming back. MJ even said, I think a couple years ago, like, yeah, we're going to start filming in 2022 or something like that. Reza and MJ and Golnessa, they are all a part of Shahs of Sunset. If you don't know what that is, it was a show on Bravo. It ran for 9 seasons. It follows a group of Persian friends who live in LA. There's drama, there's fun, there's trips. And it got canceled. So, but like a lot of fans have been asking for it back. So there's a picture of Reza, MJ, and Golnessa like a couple months ago that they posted, and the caption said trifecta. I don't know what's happening. Are we manifesting a new season? Especially with MJ being on Traitors and all the viewership that got, I could see a resurgence for this show. So I don't know. I just quickly caught it, like I said, on Reza's IG or Instagram story. And who knows? I don't know. Maybe they're coming back. I don't know. But you heard it here first. We don't know, but we're speculating. All right. We have 2 Bravo celebrities who are going to be hosting the E! News Emmys after show. So E! News will do a red carpet show before. They'll even do a pre-red carpet show. I think they start recording like 6 hours before the Emmys actually starts. But they'll do a red carpet show, and then they'll do an after show to talk about the fashions, big winners, any snubs, any big moments, things like that. So NeNe Leakes from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. She was on for a while. She's probably one of the most iconic housewives in the whole Bravo universe. She will be hosting alongside Ariana Madix from Vanderpump Rules, who just keeps collecting these checks, y'all. They're going to be hosting along with E! News host Justin Sylvester. This is a really big deal for NeNe, being brought back into the NBC universe. So E! News is a part of NBC as well as Bravo. NeNe actually sued Bravo and Andy Cohen back in 2022, saying that she endured a hostile and racial insensitive work environment. She ended up dropping the lawsuit the same year. We haven't seen her back on any sort of NBC related shows. She did a Lifetime show, and she's been hosting and doing certain things here and there, but nothing on any NBC related networks. So for her to come back and be doing this show is huge for her. A lot of people are speculating, does this mean we'll eventually get her back on Real Housewives of Atlanta? They're bringing back Phaedra. They brought back Portia. You know, we're seeing a lot of that in some of the other Housewives shows too. Housewives from previous seasons are coming back, like Tamra Judge on OC, been back for a couple of years. Vicki Gunvalson on the same show, coming back as a friend of the OG of the OC. So she might be back on our screens. Who knows? I'm excited to see it. I love all the red carpet things. Like I said earlier when I was talking about the Emmys, I love seeing the fashion. I love gossiping about the fashion. So I'm excited to watch it. I hope she does really good. And who knows? Maybe she'll be back. We got an update from Dr. Nicole Martin, who was one of the new housewives on the rebooted Real Housewives of Miami series that airs on Peacock. We got a screenshot from a fan who had replied to one of her Instagram stories and was like, I can't wait to see you back on Real Housewives of Miami this season. And she responded back with that smiley face with the mouth that's like the rectangle teeth emoji. That's a horrible description. But kind of like, I don't know if I'm going to be back. And then so fans started speculating and went all over social media. Is she coming back or not? And then she posted on her Instagram a couple days ago saying that she's been experiencing really bad postpartum anxiety after giving birth to her daughter, Genevieve. Her daughter arrived 5 weeks early and was in the NICU for a couple of weeks. And she says ever since giving birth, she's just had really heightened postpartum anxiety. She didn't have this with her first kid, Grayson. And so it's just a whole new thing for her to navigate and learn how to handle. So she is stepping away from the Real Housewives of Miami this season. It was a shock to a lot of people, and a lot of people are sad. She was a fan favorite on the show. She didn't bring she brought some drama, but I think she had a great personality. She was really open about her on again, off again relationship with her father, who they ended up reconciling on the show. He was able to be a part of some scenes and then passed away last year. So she came out and just said, like, being able to reconcile with my dad and then have these clips of him on the show was really special given their history. Her fiance, or they did get engaged, so yeah, her fiance is a pilot on the side. So they had like a private plane, or they had a plane that they would take the girls in sometimes, and she just gave like wealth to the show. That's what I want from our housewives. She was fashionable, she was funny, she had really good friendships with the girls, especially Gertie. Her and Gertie came on the show together when they rebooted it. Her and her fiance sold their old house to Jeff Bezos' parents for like a dumb amount of money, bought a new one, and we're fixing it up. And I was excited to see the remodel of their new house because it looked gorgeous, just the outside and the location of where it was. So we wish her well. We hope she comes back. Andy commented on the post, and he was just like, whatever you need to do 100%, just know that you are always welcome back if you ever want to come back. So who knows? Maybe we'll get Dr. Nicole again. But health first, focus on family, all that good stuff. We wish you well, Dr. Nicole. All right, in some Vanderpump Valley news, Jax looks like he moved into the same complex as Tom Schwartz. Tom Schwartz was his co-star on Vanderpump Rules. It's just like the ex-husband housing complex now. So yeah, rumors are going around that Jax moved into the same place as Tom Schwartz, another divorcee from Vanderpump Rules. Jax posted a very like introspective looking picture on his Instagram. And honestly, in the pic, he could be modeling or trying to sell like sunglasses, the watch he's wearing, or his Gucci shoes. Like it looks like one of those kinds of ads. The caption says, "It will take some time for my new place to feel like home, but it will get there. 1 hour at a time, 1 day at a time." And some of the comments are brutal. Yeah, Jax has not been a great person. And actions speak louder than words, right? So, like, you can say all these things, but show it in your actions. I think I've said this before already. Like, be the best father that you can for your son. He's come out and said, like, I'm going to be the best ex-husband. And you're like, that's a weird phrase. Because he wasn't a good husband, but he's really going to be a good ex-husband. I think he should say he's going to be a good co-parent. Like, he's going to be a good co-parent to his son that he shares with Britney. Britney and their son Cruz are living in the house that they bought. She had moved out for a bit when all this divorce stuff was happening and they were separating. Now Jax has moved out. Britney's back in the home with her son. All of this to say, I am so ready for the Valley, and I never thought I would say that. It can't come soon enough. We're getting Britney and Jack's divorce. We're getting a Kristen engagement. We're also getting Michelle and Jesse divorce. Michelle dating a new guy. We're getting like post-baby Janet, who I'm interested to see what she will be like, because she had a rough first season, wasn't really a fan favorite. So maybe post-baby, she'll be a little different. I don't know. It can't come soon enough. I'm excited for the Valley. Okay, and to wrap up our Bravo breakdown, the Real Housewives of Potomac trailer came out this week. We have 3 OGs that are returning. They started this series. We're on season 9 of this show, which is crazy. So the 3 OGs returning are Giselle Bryant, Ashley Darby, and the Grand Dame, Karen Huger. Dr. Wendy Osefo is also rejoining the cast. Mia Thornton's coming back. We get newbies who are going to be full-time housewives, Stacey and Karina. Karina was a friend of last year, and then Jacqueline, who came on as a friend of Mia, she's going to be a friend, and then we get a new friend, Jassy. I'm interested in this cast shakeup because Potomac hasn't been the strongest the past couple of seasons. I'm a Candace fan. And I know a lot of people have come out and be like, we're going to miss you so much. I'm a fan of Candace. I don't care what you say. I ride for her. So in the trailer, we get a 40th birthday celebration for Wendy. Seems like there's going to be a reconciliation between Wendy and Giselle. Now that her bestie Robin's out of the picture, it opens up Giselle. It forces Giselle to be friends with other people. They do a cast trip to Panama. Dr. Wendy is interviewing Karine Jean-Pierre, who is the White House press secretary. They're interviewing at the White House for Wendy's show that she has. We get another clip in the trailer of learning that Giselle's ex-husband Jamal is engaged. So, like, now a storyline of Giselle continuing to find love. We get some talk about Karen. She had a drunk driving accident. Like, y'all, Uber. There's a scene with Mia and one of the other girls, and Mia's like, is that Potomac of her to be like drunk driving, hitting a tree? Like, is that right? I was like, ooh, the shade. So we'll see that play out this season. And then the trailer ends with Mia's quote-unquote love triangle, which really isn't a love triangle because her and her ex-husband aren't together. But it's this, she's getting divorced. Mia's now engaged to her high school sweetheart who thinks Mia's oldest kid is his kid and not her ex-husband's kid. And they're all talking about it in a scene, and it just looks really bad and intense. And, like, I like these shows. I like these housewife shows. But when it gets, like, too messy, or when the kids are involved and things like that, then it's hard. Especially, like, you can keep kids off the internet for as long as you want, but you know things are going to get back to them. So I just don't want her oldest son, like, questioning who his dad is and then having to be put in the middle of it and people bringing it up to him. I think that's really hard. So we'll see. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to give it a try again. It's been a couple seasons since I've watched Potomac, but we'll see what happens. More Bravo Housewives shows, right? There are highs and lows, so I hope this season will be a high. All right, I want to end with a couple shows that I watched this week. So I watched about half of Selling Sunset so far. So I just want to touch on a couple things that I like. I like the new girl Alana so far. She seems pretty normal. The only drama we've gotten from her so far has been outside of the show. So while they were filming, she says she owns this city called Pioneer Town, which is like out in the Joshua Tree area. So she comes in and she's like, I own this town. We should all go visit it. Like, I'll set up stuff for us. The town came out and was like, no, she doesn't own the entire town. She has a 1% stake in the town. Like, there's multiple owners. We're a very, very small community. Like, she doesn't own it. So then she came out and she was like, sorry for inflating that I own the show. So that's been the only drama with her so far. Get some Brie and Chelsea drama still going on, from Chelsea running her mouth about Brie and her situationship with Nick Cannon and the child that they share together, and just the legitimacy of their relationship. So Brie's like, fuck this, I don't want to be a part of this, I don't want to come into the office, like, I'm fine, whatever. Then we get Chelsea and Mary drama. I couldn't remember for the drama for a bit because, like, it's been a while. But Mary was saying that Chelsea was a pot stirrer. She's talking about Emma behind your back. So there's this scene where they're at Amanda's birthday party. And Chelsea and Mary are talking. And Mary's husband just keeps touching Chelsea to, like, try to get her attention or, like, try to explain. But the way he's touching, like, don't put your hands on her. It made me so uncomfortable watching it. One, don't get in the lady's business. Like, go off and talk about something else. If your wife needs you, she'll call you back. And then, yeah, don't put your hands on her. It just seemed kind of controlling and, like, not aggressive, but it didn't sit right with me. Like, get your hands off of her. You guys can have a conversation without having to keep touching her. Yeah, so there's drama there. There was some drama with Amanda's stylist and Chrishell's partner G. The stylist made some comments about them, saying that Chrishell was a fake lesbian and that was just being used for a green card for G, who is Chrishell's partner, who lives in Australia. And then the stylist was saying that Chrishell needs some dick. And so Chrishell was like, absolutely not. I do not want to be around this person. And the fact that you continue to employ this stylist who is homophobic and is saying all these remarks. And Amanda was like, well, my stylist is gay. And it's like, well, that doesn't lessen what the stylist is saying. It's still wrong. Amanda was saying she's keeping him around because he does work for her for free. And she likes that. And you're like, okay. So Amanda was having a birthday party. She was asking Chrishell if she was going to go. Chrishell's like, I don't know. If your stylist is going to be there, I don't want to be around that energy. Like, happy birthday to you, but no. Amanda pulled back the stylist from going to the party, so Chrishell ended up going. Then we learned that Amanda had a really intense health scare. She had 2 spinal surgeries. She had lost a lot of blood in one of them. Her blood pressure dropped really badly. Like, her body went into shock. The doctors were saying she had 48 hours to survive if her body couldn't come back and regulate itself, and if they couldn't get her numbers back right. And she's okay now, but so now she is coming in this new year of life, she's saying, just really grateful and excited and going to live her life to the fullest after going through that really, really scary event. Then we get a scene with Brie meeting up with her friend Amanda. And she was like, I have some tea I need to tell you, but like, I need to tell you in person. Amanda said that Chelsea's husband her friend saw Chelsea's husband making out with another girl at the W Hotel. She was like, her friend was like, I knew it was Chelsea's husband, like, has a distinct face, like, I just knew it was him. So she tells her friend tells Brie, and Brie's like, I don't know, like, what to do, because Chelsea went so hard at Brie last season for her relationship with Nick Cannon. So now things are going on with Chelsea and her husband. Bree's like, ultimately I need to tell her because, like, being a girl's girl, right? Like, I'm gonna let you know what's going on, whatever. However you're gonna handle it, you handle it. So they ended up having a scene and Bree's talking to Chelsea about the cheating rumor. She brings it up. And, like, I felt so bad for Chelsea because you could tell like, her facial expressions. And I know they're filming this for a reality TV show. And I know we want to see all these things. But to hear that your husband was cheating on you or possibly cheating on you on camera and then to see your authentic reaction, I think that's just really, really hard. So I felt really bad for Chelsea in that moment. Chelsea was saying, like, she has felt a disconnect with her husband and she just had, like, a intuition when you know something's wrong, but she didn't know what. So she was just like, what is going on? I never thought I'd be in this situation with my husband for 10 years. We have 2 kids. Like, I can't believe this is happening to me, but we're all human. Like, things do happen to people. Not everyone's life's perfect. They're drinking wine and Chelsea puts the glass down, not even that hard, and the glass breaks and she's like, oh my goodness. She's like, I'm just like, she's frazzled. You can tell, like, she doesn't know what to do in the moment. And Chelsea brings up, like, I talked so much about you last season and now look where I am. Like, I'm so sorry that I did that to you because now this is coming back to me. And so she's apologizing and it's a little bonding moment for them. I think Bree's still a little standoffish about Chelsea, but she did the right thing in letting Chelsea know what was going on. And Chelsea and her husband are now separated. I think she's filed for divorce. So it just sucks that happened. And then I saw the trip to the Pioneer Town. So it ended up just being Alana, Mary, Nicole, and Amanda because Chelsea had just found out about the drama. So Chelsea, Chrishell, and Emma stayed back to stay with Chelsea. And then Bree was like, I'm not going to Pioneer Town. I'm good. I'd rather, like, be with my son. So they're, like, walking around this cute little, like, desert western area. This cute cowboy comes up to them, and at first I was like, was this staged? Did you guys just, like, hire this actor? I don't know. He was just like, hey, what are you guys doing here? Like, you from here? Have you been here? And, like, talking to them, like, who's single? Who's married? Amanda's like, I'm single. So they're, like, talking and kind of flirting, and we get a confessional from Amanda, and she's like, he's cute, but I would never date a cowboy. But she then said she dated a member of NSYNC. I was like, what? And then they go back to the house that Alana rented for them. They do a line dancing lesson. They're drinking, they're eating, they're having fun. And then at that dinner that they have at the house, Nicole, one of the other real estate agents, she brings up a rumor about Emma. But the way she does it, it's like she's pretending that she doesn't want to say the rumor, but then keeps giving little tidbits here and there, like she really does want to say the rumor. She basically says everything but the actual words of accusing Emma of flirting with a married guy. And the man just keeps saying, like, don't say anything. Like, don't say it. Stop. Just, like, why do you keep talking? And Mary's like, oh, no, like, yeah, like, we should. And Nicole just keeps, like, dropping a couple words here and there, and you're just like, girl, if you're gonna say it, just say it. You know they're gonna get pissed at you anyway. Stop acting like you don't want to say it, but I'm gonna say it, but I'm not gonna say all of it. Own up to the shit. If you're gonna talk some shit, just say it. That's where I ended. I know it explodes later on in the season of what Nicole said about Emma, so I can't wait to watch that. I will recap the rest of that. Yeah, just they are selling some houses, so that's good. They got some listings. I don't know, it's just really funny because the past couple seasons they hadn't really shown everything that they were selling. It was just all about the drama. So I think they heard the audience feedback of like, you guys actually sell houses? Okay, I watched Perfect Couple on Netflix. It was better than I thought it was going to be based on some of the reviews I was reading. I wasn't trying to read all of them, but I was reading a couple. I love a murder mystery show. It was a little slow in the beginning, but then picked up and wrapped up the murder. I liked how they do like everyone's point of view and sets it up for everyone possibly being a suspect. Sorry if I sound congested. I think I'm still going through my cold. Nicole Kidman's character was confusing for me. It's like she was trying to be mysterious or secretive, which like she's so good at playing these roles. But I don't know, there was just something off for me. Like, I don't know if they just cut out a lot of footage that would have helped drive her mysteriousness a little more. Like, there was this drinking scene on the balcony with her and Liev Schreiber, who was a total pothead in the movie. He just sits around and drinks and smokes and goes out on his boat. Liv is like bringing them some drinks out on their balcony and they're talking. And then like 2 seconds later, Nicole's like, aren't you going to clean that up? Like, why is that still out there? Like, what are you? And it was just like, did we cut some scenes? Like, is there some footage missing? Because he literally just poured you guys a drink and had just sat down to drink, or like y'all were just drinking it, and then like automatically you're snapping at him as if he like left this out forever, but maybe she's just like continuously annoyed with him because he cheats on her. I don't know. It's a good binge. I thought it was good how they wrapped it up. Okay, so one of the main characters from the show, Amelia, who is marrying into Nicole Kidman and Liev Schreiber's family, is Bono's daughter. Her name's Eve. And then she's also on this other show that I binged called Bad Sisters. So I binged it all weekend while I was sick. It's on Apple TV. Holy shit. I love this show so much. I can't wait for season 2. Season 2 comes out in November. It's about sisters who are the literal definition of ride or die for each other. Their parents died when they were really young, so the oldest sister raised them, and they're all adults now, and some shit goes down. One is married to a absolute trash monster, a garbage human, treats her like shit, is so controlling, gaslighting, just everything. It's like what Steven from Tell Me Little Lies would grow up to be as a father and a husband times like 10. Like, he's horrible. I wanted to punch him through the TV so many times. The show was actually nominated for Outstanding Casting, Directing, and Writing at last year's Emmys. And the oldest sister, Eva, she was nominated for Outstanding Lead Actress too. So 4 Emmy nominations in its first season. It's a remake of a Belgian series called Clan. It's so good, and I don't want to give a lot of it away. But yeah, they're just like literal ride or die sisters for each other. And it's a really good series. So if you have Apple TV, if you know somebody who has Apple TV, go watch Bad Sisters with them. It is such a good show. It was such a good binge to watch while I've been just laying down and not doing too much. But I wanted to share that with you guys. Okay, that's all the garbage talk I have for today. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it. I really love doing this with you guys. Like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. New episodes every week. We have some new Real Housewives shows premiering. Salt Lake City premieres this week. I'm excited. I don't know how it's going to go. I saw some comments from some people who saw screeners and said it's great. So I'm going to trust them because they're Bravo people. But follow the podcast on Instagram, TikTok, X, and have a good rest of your day, y'all. Until next time.